What's going on, guys? The Barber Phil here, back again with another haircut tutorial. And in today's cut, big transformation. My guy here, he comes in only a few times a year. His hair gets really grown out, it's really wavy. So we're gonna do a hard part, clean that up, weighted bald fade. So it's a big transformation. You go from a lot of hair to not a lot of hair. You can see what we started with. Gonna start things off by saturating the hair really well, and then we're gonna find his natural part, and then we'll clean up that hard part with the Babyliss Fx trimmer. So basically what I'm doing here is I have a wide tooth comb, and I combed from front to back, and you can tell in the grooves from this wide tooth comb, you can tell where the hair wants to start falling down to the side. That's where the natural part is. So then I flipped it over, I started using the more fine part of it, really pinpoint the hair that needs to go towards the top, really needs to go towards the bottom, take it where it needs to go. Now we're coming in with our FX trimmer. We're gonna hit the bottom side of the line, and then here in a sec, I'll flip it over, we'll hit the top side. Every line has two sides to it, the top side and the bottom side. So that's how we're gonna get as clean a hard part as we can. So here we are hitting the top part, and then we'll start removing all the bulk from there. So with the hard part cleaned up, basically what I'm going to do is, I'm guessing a spin-off of block graduation, if you will. I took the wide tooth comb again and I parted it about an inch above, or an inch and a half above the actual natural hard part. Over directed it to that side where the part is. We're going to point cut the ends to remove the bulk and to texture it a little bit. I'm going to work my way back through there until I get to about the middle of the head. Everything's going to be pulled over that way. If his hair falls off to that opposite side, it's not going to be an undercut. It'll fall down into that weight where the hard part is. Obviously, he's going to push it off to the other side most times, but if he does get up and has to go somewhere in a hurry, it'll fall over into that weight and we're good to go. Now, for the right middle and then the right side, we're going to use the guides from the left side, match it all up, point cut, and remove the bulk. Then we will throw some sea salt spray in there, use a blow dryer. Make sure when you're using a blow dryer and a brush and you're brush styling that you comb or brush the hair in an opposite direction of the way that you're going to eventually fix it. You want to take any memory of the hair out, and by doing that you also add volume. So we're going to continue to remove bulk. This is a 3-guard close on the Metal Magic Clip. We're starting from the base of the C cup and we're working up to the parietal ridge. And when I get up there, I'm using a comb to hold that hair down so that we can evenly run this guard through that hair. His hair does have a wave to it, or a little bit of a curl when it's longer. So holding that hair down in place allows us to evenly cut the hair, so we don't have to keep going through it over and over again. Now, the reason why I'm stopping at the C cup and not going down farther, this is a bald fade, so we're going to remove this hair anyways. You'd just be wasting time and it'd be a waste of steps. Now I'm switching over to the Cordless Senior modified with the Andis Master blade. And if you guys like the way that sounds, being able to have a Cordless Senior in your hand or a Cordless Magic Clip, but be able to use the purple guards because you have the Master blade, you can go to @FilthyBlends on Instagram. He's got a link in the bio of his page there to get the modification. I've had it for a month and a half or so maybe, and I absolutely love it. So if you guys like the sound of that, go check his page out and pick up one of the modifications. So what I like to do a lot of times when I have a bald fade in my chair is go ahead and clean up the C cup. That allows me to have reference points to go off of so that I put this bald line in the same on both sides. We're going to do the vertical bar. I'm going to switch over to my slim lines. They hit a little bit softer than these FXs. Start at the base of the C cup, round it around the ear, and then drop it down in the back. Now what I'll do, I've tapped it in with the trimmer inverted. I'll flip it over, scoop out, and flick this bottom line out. That way, whenever I get into the fade here in a second, I don't have to worry about that, because I know personally with my clippers that my closed metal magic clip will take out this bottom line, and I don't have to come back in later and worry about it. So we're going to start things off with an open section, about 1 inch, making sure that you continue the same shape that you set in with that bald line. We'll go half open, about 3/4 of the way up into that open section. We'll close it up all the way, remove that bottom line, and then we'll get right into fading that middle section out up into the 2 guard. So I'm going to continue to fade down here using the Wahl Premium 1.5 guard. We're starting with it open, flicking out right up into that 2 guard section we just did. We'll close it up, stay down just below the open section, switch back over to the Cordless Senior modified with the Andis Master blade so that we have the 1 guard wide open. We'll close it up halfway, close it up all the way, continuing to fade down, and then we'll slap the 0 guard on there. Same steps, open, halfway open, and then closed. And you'll see whenever I hit that closed area, that bottom line disappears. We'll take the guard off, use just the corners of an open blade and pinpoint any dark spots. Takes it right out. That's the good part about fading down, is you get to see the fade come together as you get closer and closer to that bald section. And so from here, we'll move on to the next section. But I like the way this side turned out. There is that dark spot still there right above that scar. You can see right here where I'm at now, there's a scar right there. We'll get that dark spot out. I keep saying that, but we will get it out here in just a second. So for me personally, I like to use the Oster flat top comb. It's a thicker plastic, and then with the teeth being as wide as the blade, it helps me not have to worry so much about the blade slipping off of the comb and gapping somebody. And then I also come in behind that, and I use the Wahl Premium 1.5 guard. We're going to flick up into that weight and that dark spot that I've been talking about, lighten it up a little bit, and then we'll move on. Alright guys, if you would like direct access to some of the best barbers out there, take a second, find the link in the description of this video for the Tomb 45 Online Academy. I promise you won't regret it. You get access to Get Beamed, Dre Cut It Out, S-Craft Blends, Sean Cuts Hair, and Chris Bazio. They do in-depth tutorial breakdowns, not your 13 to 15 minute sped up haircuts like this. It's the full 45-minute cut. They'll be able to stop the video, draw on the screen, stop it, answer any questions that you have right there on the spot. There's a Discord so where you can communicate with so many different barbers from different areas, talk to different people about what's going on in their area, learn new techniques from other people. So it's well worth it, guys. Take a second, check that out. Alright, so I'll catch you up on what we did there. We used the FX to do the C cup. That way we have reference points to match it to the other side. We used our Slimline Pro to tap in that bald line. Flipped it over, flicked that bald line out. Then we did the open magic clip. Closed it up halfway, dropped down just a little bit, went about halfway to 3/4 of the way up through that open section. Then we closed it up all the way. We took out that bottom trimmer line. There we used the Wahl Premium 1.5 guard, flicked up into the 2 guard area. Now we're using an open 1 with the Andis. We'll close it up halfway, then we'll close it up all the way. And then here in a sec, we'll switch over to a 0 guard, repeat the same steps. We'll drop down just a little bit into this 1 guard section. We'll start with that 0 guard open, halfway, and then all the way closed, and it should make that bottom line disappear. Alright, so we're back to the Oster flat top comb and a magic clip just to help remove weight in the parietal ridge area here. And personally, guys, like I said, I use the Oster flat top comb. It's just a safety net for me. You can use a regular comb and do the same technique, and you might even be able to pinpoint dark spots better with a smaller comb. But I personally would just rather use either blending shears and the teeth just at the very end, or use the corner of a blade with a guard on there and, you know, lighten up those dark spots that way. I'm absolutely loving this new setup with the silver FXs and the gold blade. It's a lethal combination to be able to remove all that bulk, take it all the way down the skin, but then also turn around here, comb the hair past that beard line, and put a sharp line on it. It's just a lethal combination. Alright guys, just an FYI, I'm not happy with the way this beard turned out. I did what I could. I faded it down in there. I put a sharp line on the top, but he doesn't come often enough, and he actually pushes his top line down more than I would prefer. So, you know, I did what I could, put a sharp line on the top, shaped it up, and hopefully he comes back more often and gives me a better chance of making this beard really nice. Alright, so we're going to work the pomade into our hands, warm it up a little bit, and then evenly distribute it all through the top of his hair. And then I also added some to the left side of the hard part just to help hold that down some. And then I use a two-sided comb. One side is more of a fine tooth so that you can work that pomade evenly throughout the hair. And then the other side is a wide tooth comb. And I personally just use that for styling. I just like the way it looks better. It gives it more of a free-flowing or like a finger style look, like he ran his hands through it. Alright guys, that about does it for this transformation. As you can tell, he was way overdue for a haircut. Take a second, let me know in the comment section how you think we did. While you're down there, go ahead and like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, consider subscribing if you're new. Enable those notifications and you'll never miss another video from me again. Sean Cuts Hair just walked in.
Yeah, subscribe to my channel as well.
Sean Cuts Hair. Alright guys, until the next video, I appreciate it.